been feeling like I'm ready for the top. Got the pedal to the metal, I've been grinding non-stop, killing every instrumental, and I knew just what I wanted. Now I gotta go and get it, and I'm never looking back, only looking where I'm headed. And I doubted for a minute, trying to get another win.
That's a good boy. You want to hold the camera? You want to hold the camera, Rocky? Rocky, say hi to the people. Right there. Yeah, say hi. Apollo, say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hi, guys. They slept with me last night. They don't always, but I really do love when they sleep with me. And I can't show you, but one sleeps like in my crotch area, the other one kind of here by my neck, and we do like a whole night of cuddling, and it's great. Yeah, so, you know, part of it is, it was interesting when we got the puppies. Rocky's personality took to me a lot, like heavily. It was pretty clear. And then Apollo took to Marissa pretty hard. So I try to make sure that Apollo gets just as much love as little Rocky. Look at you over there. You're such a little love bug, aren't you? Apollo, you jealous? Huh? Come on over here. You can get some love too. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? So that's how I start my morning off with this little bugger. Look at that cute little face. That's Rocky. That's Apollo. Gotta give Apollo some love too. You be a good boy. All right, so today we are sitting 8th place out of 191 players. We pay like 140 spots. Huh, buddy? We pay 140 spots. Yeah. Oh, kiss the camera. That's it. And we're gonna make money today for sure. You know, no more messing around, yo. Ready to do this. Look to have some fun. Play solid A-game style. Feel good despite, you know, the different sleep schedule and stuff. But feels good. So I'm ready to do this. What do you want? You want some pizza? Remember this gift? That was from the people. Yeah, that was your birthday present. Ready? Go get some pizza. Go get him, Rocky. You gotta help him bring it back. Come on, help him. Oh, it's like they play football with a pizza thing. You good boy, now give it to me. Give it to Papa. Huh? Oh, you wanna fight for it. All right, here we go. Psych. Go get over there. Oh man, they could do this for hours upon hours upon hours. Good boy. All right, so we're officially on the bubble. One more needs to go broke. We're all on the money, and it's also coinciding with the break. I had one really big hand that I won where, you know, I started the day with 80,000. I'm up to 140. I had a hand where I had ace 3, 5, 6, 3, 5 of hearts.
Grand portion of this tournament, we have 142 players. We're paying 141 spots. Guys, we're gonna play this one hand at this level. We will send you on a break after this.
Yeah, so I flopped a queen, deuce 6 with 2 hearts. So turn was a 8, so I had nut low. River was an ace, I made aces up, and a 3-5 for second nut low. I bet 30,000, she called, and we won a big pot.
One hand and hold up. Also, players, if you get an all-in in the call.
Okay, so we had big things happen in that level, and I got a couple hands to share for you. One big one, and then we'll just tell you about the other one. Blinds are 1,200, 2,400. I raised to 6,000 with the ace, deuce, 5, 6. I have the deuce of spades, 6 of spades in my hand, and the other two are not a flush draw. I get one caller in position. The flop comes ace of spades, king of clubs, ace of spades, 8 of spades. So it's ace of spades, king of clubs, 8 of spades. I have, you know, pair of aces, a deuce 5 low draw, and a flush draw. I check. My opponent bets the pot, 15,600, and I looked at his stack. And I thought, you know, there's a lot of things I could do. I could just check raise and gamble with it, but I felt like my hand might be a little too weak to do that with, to just play for stacks. So instead I thought maybe I'll see a turn card. If the turn comes bad, maybe I can check fold the turn. Or if it comes good, we'll see. So the turn card is good. It's a 4 of spades. So that gives me you know, the deuce 6 for low. It also gives me a 6 high flush. So it's going to be very difficult for him to have a hand that beats both my low and my high. Now the question is, much like the hand from yesterday, how much do we bet, right? There is, you know, 32,000 in the pot. I figure if my opponent doesn't have my low draw beat, well, yeah, I mean, I was figuring, like, what do I want to price him in for and give him a bad price to draw to whatever he's drawing to, like if he has aces and kings or if he has a set of some kind. So I bet 12,000, and he called. The river's a 3 of spades. He only had 24,000 left. I made the wheel. I got the, you know, the flush. I'm great position. So I bet his last 24,000. He thought about it and he folded and said he had a set and a low draw of some kind. So the question is, should I bet more on the turn? If I bet more on the turn, he actually folds his hand. So I think in retrospect, I maxed out the hand the way that I played out. The other option, of course, was I could have just re-raised the flop and got it in for sure, but I don't really think that that's the right play, especially in a PLO8 tournament. So, so far so good with that. Then the hand right before the break, I called a raise with deuce, deuce, 3, 4 against Ben Tang, and the flop came jack 9 deuce with 2 hearts. He bet 10,000. I just went pot. He called with aces and a flush draw. He did not hit his ace or his flush, so we have 251,500. I don't know if that's a chip lead, but it's pretty darn good. This is today's shirt, right? This is today's shirt. He's going for, what was the look you're going for today?
72 porn star.
72 porn star.
Reed Rothschild.
So this was the shirt from yesterday. I don't know how good this is going to show up, but whoa, it's got a bright light in the back. But look at that there. And you sold this shirt yesterday
Sold
somehow.
it for an $80 profit.
This guy.
Absolutely.
You know, he's hot. He's a hustler.
And
right?
he's got the newer version.
Hi. This is special. What a shirt. I like this one though. Good job.
Appreciate it.
like drapery.
Looks like drapery.
Okay.
Let's check on Philly, see how the nut pettling's doing over there. Yeah. How's the nut peddling going, Phil?
No.
All right, we are on dinner break, and I want to get right to it because this is a very interesting game in terms of like a lot of hands to share. So we're going to share a couple, right? I'm doing well in chips. The blinds are 1,500, 3,000. Player raises on the button to 6,500. I call in the small blind. The ace of diamonds, jack 10 of spades, 4 of hearts. Big blind folds. Flop is jack 10, 5, 2 clubs, 1 diamond. So I've got top 2 pair, and I decide to bet 12,000. My opponent on the button calls. The turn card is the 9 of diamonds, putting backdoor diamonds out there too. I have the ace of diamonds. Plus that card, I think, you know, hits a lot of the hands I'm representing on the flop. So I bet 17,000. If the guy raises me here, I'm going to fold. He calls. River's a 5. 5 of hearts. And I thought maybe, you know, should I bet here or not? I thought my jacks and 10s beat all the missed draws that he has if he had some sort of club draw or something like that. So I elect to check the river, and he thinks for a little bit, and he bets 21.5. So now I'm getting a very good price on this call. Just 21,500. So all I'm left with to deviate from just saying, you know, I press the call button with jacks and 10s is like trying to get a physical read. So we take a look at him. He's an Asian gentleman. He's wearing cargo shorts. He's wearing runners with like high white socks. He was like really unattentive, kind of looking away on the turn, and then called, and then thought about it pretty long time on the river. So ultimately what I thought was he probably had a scared straight, where he wasn't sure if he should bet it or not, but wanted to get some value with his straight. So he doesn't have to raise me on the turn with a hand like Queen 8 or 7 8 or even King Queen. So we folded that one. Not sure if it was a good laydown, but also first hand I played with the guy had no other information other than the live reads. And there's a few other things I picked up. So we made that fold where it just was very suspicious what he could have. I block a jack, I block a 10 for a lot of the jack 5, jack 10, 5 combos he could have possibly had that made a full house. So not sure about that one. Let's move on to the next hand, which just happened right now. I raise it up with ace of spades, 3 of spades, 5 jack. to 10,000. The blinds are 2 and 4. The small blind, another Asian gentleman, a different player, who's got a lot of chips as well, he re-raises to 32.5. So I'm in position. We're deep. I don't love my hand, but it's plenty fine to call within position. So we call the 22.5. The flop is Queen of Clubs, Jack of Diamonds, Deuce of Spades. So I've got the Jack. It's a pretty good flop. I have that key Deuce of Spades, which gives me lots of backdoor potential. Now he checks to me, and I decide I don't want to blow myself off a very potentially big free card that could come on the turn. So I check back my Jack on the flop. The turn is a 4 of diamonds, puts backdoor diamonds out there. Now he leads 26.5, and I'm thinking, oh boy, okay, so there's a big card for us. We've got the wrap on the wheel, you know, the ace 3 or 5, or the 6 as well, and then of course we have the Jack, so we just select to call the 26.5. The river's an 8, and now he bets 55,000. So we have the nut low, but it's really a frustrating spot because I literally said to him, I was like, oh, you have the ace 3. I know he's got the ace 3 to bet there. Certainly can't fold though, because, you know, we're going to get half our money back on the call. So we've already put in a bunch. So essentially I'm risking the 55, so I can get quartered. So I'm going to lose half that, but I'm also going to win half of what's already in the middle. So it's pretty much a break-even play to make the call. It's fine, or even probably a little bit profitable to make a call. So I make the call. He had the ace 3, 8. So we lost a little bit of chips on that one, but we've got 201,000 on the dinner break with about 58 players left, and feeling really good about how we're playing. And it's getting to big stakes time now. You know, every pot matters, and you know anything can happen. So we're just going to stay focused and have some din and get back to it. All right, people. Got some good news. We got some bad news. Okay. Let's start with the bad news. All right. Let's talk about a hand right now. There was a raise. The blinds are 3 and 6,000. There's a raise from middle position to 15,000. I'm on the button. My hand is ace deuce of hearts, 4 5 of hearts. Sure, bud.
Thanks, Daniel.
You got it. Go Knights, go away.
Yeah. So, baby. Thank you.
All right. So I have ace deuce, 4 5, all hearts in my hand. Now, obviously, in Omaha, you don't want to block your own flush draws, but ace deuce 4 5 is such a strong hand that even if you had no flush draws, you'd play this hand, and one flush draw is better than no flush draws. So I call the 15,000, and the big blind also calls. The flop comes 10 of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 6 of hearts. So we have nut low draw, gut shot straight flush draw, as well as, yeah, the nut flush draw, whatever. So the big blind leads out for 30,000. First player calls, and I presume he has ace deuce a lot of the time. And I thought to myself, I don't really want him in there. So if we can get him out, play the hand heads up, make my ace deuce completely live. So instead of getting quartered, I win half if I just get the low. I make it pot. So it's 150,000. The first guy folds, and the second guy, when it comes back to him, he does have ace deuce. He decides to call off his, he was all in with ace deuce 6 9. So he had a pair and a gut shot with his ace deuce. Turn was a 9, and river was a 9. So he made a full house, leaving us down to just 72,000. We're back to 99,000. So what's the good news? The good news is, oh my goodness, I don't know what happened, but my pain threshold, miraculously, it's back at like a 9. It didn't even faze me so much. I still felt confident that I was fine, you know, like it didn't hurt. It didn't sting the way that I would expect it to sting, and it has been stinging. So that's a good sign going down the stretch run, and we still got a shot in this thing. There's about 35 players left. We can still win this thing with 100K. Average is only 184. Let's go. All right, we got a new strategy here. Anytime you see someone stack their chips like this, you know they're super nitty. So my thought process is, when I actually bet, these guys over here are all going to think that I've got the nuts.
What it really means is like he has fucking nothing else to do, so he stacked his chips.
Because I'm a nit. I'm playing tight, right? Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, let's do this. Down to 27. We're sitting with Mike Matiso for the entire hour. Oh boy. All right, we got one more hand left. Even Mike Matiso, we impressed the mouth. Wow.
Yes, I didn't go broke on the last hand of day 2.
Woohoo! All right, so this is the last hand I want to share with you. Just happened right now, like a couple hands before the break. Quindo raises to 20,000, I'm in raise. Elliot Lesra calls. I'm in the big blind, and I have Queen Jack of Spades, 10-5. Not a very good hand, but it's a high type hand. I'm short on chips. And so I decide to, call the raise. Now the flop comes 10-6 deuce with 2 spades. So I've got top pair. I've got, not a great spot, but whatever. I check, check, check. Okay, the turn is the 8 of diamonds. Check, check, check. Okay, river's the 3 of spades. So I make the queen high flush, and there's 4 low cards out there. I decide that I want to get the low out, and obviously get paid with my queen high flush. So I bet 50,000 into the 60, leaving myself 96 or like 100,000 about. And Quinn thinks for a bit, he folds. Now Ellie goes all in on me. He puts me in for the 100,000. I have a queen high flush here. So now I go through it in my head and think about like, wow, how can he check back an ace high flush draw on that flop, right? I know one card he has for sure, which is the ace of spades. He's not gonna raise me without the ace of spades. The question is, does he have another spade with it? And which one? If he had an ace of spades and a low draw, he's betting that flop, right? So now I'm thinking, well, wow. You know, this could be a hand like ace 4-5 with just the ace of spades. He's trying to move me off of something. But ultimately I realized the most likely hand he has is some sort of like ace, king, queen high cards with no low and the nuts and the spades. So I fold and he showed the ace, king of spades. So I'm still in this tournament because I really like took my time and thought it through. And I don't have a lot of chips with just 96,000, but chip in a chair, as they say. And this is a good game for short stack. So we're coming back for a day 3. And good news is we're in the money. We're in the money. Na 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 na. Hey, second cash in the series. Let's go.